James, a model police officer retired after 15 years on the force, was relaxing by the pool at his new home when his peaceful afternoon was shattered by the blaring sound of sirens. 2 police cars screeched to a halt at his house, officers stepping out with hands on their holsters. "Sir, we got a call about a suspicious person trespassing in this pool area," they said. And there she was, Linda Grayson, his neighbor, peeking through her curtains, smirking. This wasn't just another petty stunt, it was her last. The battle for James's peace had only just begun. Picture this, a gorgeous summer afternoon in an upscale Atlanta neighborhood, the kind with manicured lawns and houses that scream, "I made it." Our guy, James Wilson, a retired cop with 15 years on the force, is finally living his dream. After grinding through overtime shifts and saving every dime, he's bought his dream home, a sleek 2-story with a backyard pool that sparkles like a Georgia peach under the sun. James is kicked back on a lounge chair, soaking in the breeze, when, bam, police sirens rip through the calm. 2 patrol cars screech up to his house. Officers step out, hands on holsters, eyeing him over the fence. "Sir, we got a call about a suspicious person trespassing in this pool area." James sits up, his gut twisting. He's been here before, not as a homeowner, but as a cop dealing with nonsense. And through the corner of his eye, he spots her, his neighbor, Linda Grayson, peeking through her curtains with a smirk that could curdle milk. This isn't her first stunt, but it's about to be her last. Let's rewind a couple of months to see how this all kicked off. James had just moved into this fancy neighborhood, a place his parents could only dream of. After years of protecting Atlanta's streets, he'd earned this, his slice of the American dream. The house was pristine, especially that backyard pool that sealed the deal. He's arranging deck chairs when he notices Linda, phone glued to her ear, staring from her second-floor window like she's auditioning for a spy movie. He gives a friendly wave, but she ducks behind her curtains like she's caught. Next day, James is at the hardware store when his phone pings. Security camera alert. Guess who? Linda, strutting through his unlocked back gate like it's her personal resort. Designer swimsuit, fancy beach towel, the works. She plops down by his pool and starts soaking her feet. When James gets home and calls her out, her response is pure gold. "Oh," she gasps, hand on chest like she's in a soap opera. "I thought you were the new pool guy. The old owners always let me swim here." Her smile's so condescending, it could win an Oscar. James, cool as ever, years of cop training, says, "Ma'am, I'm the owner, not the pool guy. Please ask before coming onto my property." Linda's face twists like she bit a lemon. "You? The owner?" she says, laughing nervously. "The realtor never mentioned, well..." She trails off, but the implication's clear as day, and it's not about his job title. "No mistake, Mrs. Grayson," James says, voice steady. "This is my home. You're trespassing. Please leave." She grabs her stuff, muttering, "We'll see about that," as she storms off. Not a threat, a promise. Over the next few weeks, Linda's antics go from annoying to straight-up unhinged. One Saturday, James wakes up to splashing and laughter. He looks out his window and, yep, Linda's turned his backyard into her personal party spot. 4 friends, all in designer swimsuits, are lounging by his pool like it's a country club. "You need to leave," James says, stepping onto his patio. "This is private property." Linda waves him off like he's the help. "Oh, don't be such a buzzkill. This pool's barely used anyway." One of her friends, looking awkward, mumbles, "Karen said we had permission." James keeps his cool, de-escalation 101, and says, "Mrs. Grayson, this is my final warning. Next time, I'm calling the cops." "Go ahead," Linda snaps, sauntering out last. "I know everyone at the precinct. My husband golfs with Captain Daniels. That afternoon, James installs more security cameras. Rule 1 from his cop days, document everything. And good thing, too, because his cameras catch Linda trying to open his gate, peering into his windows, even trying a key she somehow got from the previous owners. The final straw? He comes home from the store to find Linda hosting her book club, 8 women sipping wine by his pool like it's their summer estate. This time, James doesn't hesitate. He calls the cops. 2 officers show up, his old buddies, Officers Rivera and Chen. "James, man, long time," Rivera says, then clocks the situation. Oh, one of those calls. Linda flips on the waterworks. "Officers, thank God you're here. This man's harassing us. We've always had pool access with the old owners." Chen cuts her off. "Ma'am, James was one of our best. If he says you're trespassing, you're trespassing. Leave, or we make this official." Linda's face goes beet red as her crew scrambles out. "This isn't over," she hisses at James. "You don't belong here, and I'll make sure everyone knows it." Linda's actions gets uglier. Suddenly, the neighborhood Facebook group's buzzing with concerned posts about suspicious activity at James's address. His newspaper vanishes every morning. The HOA gets complaints about his unkempt yard. His lawn's pristine, by the way. But James is a step ahead. His cameras catch Linda stealing his paper at dawn, snapping pics of his house at weird hours, even dumping weed killer on his roses in the dead of night. At the next HOA meeting, Linda goes for the jugular. "I'm worried about property values," she says, side-eyeing James. "Some new residents are making buyers uneasy." James stands, phone in hand. "Funny you mention that, Mrs. Grayson. Care to explain this footage of you poisoning my roses last Tuesday at 11:47 p.m.? The room goes dead quiet as he plays the video, clear as day. Linda's face drains of color, but she doubles down. "I was checking for vandals. Someone's been damaging properties." James just smiles. "Yeah, and now we know who." That night, he finds his pool full of dish soap, bubbles everywhere, a cleanup nightmare. But instead of getting mad, James gets smart. He remembers a trick from his old partner, a non-toxic pool dye that reacts with chemicals and fancy sunscreens and cosmetics, turning skin a bright temporary green. It's safe, legal, and unforgettably embarrassing. For the first time in weeks, James grins. Linda wants his pool? She's about to get it, with a twist. James, with 15 years on the force, knows how to play the long game. After Linda's latest stunt, dumping dish soap in his pool, leaving it a bubbly mess, he's done playing nice. He remembers a case his old partner worked involving a non-toxic pool dye, the kind used to spot leaks. Here's the kicker. It reacts with chemicals in high-end sunscreens and cosmetics, turning skin a bright temporary green that takes days to fade. It's safe, legal, and the perfect way to teach a lesson without breaking a sweat. James grins, thinking, if Linda loves my pool so much, let's make it unforgettable. He does his homework like the cop he is, orders the dye from a pool maintenance supplier, tests it in a bucket with some of Linda's favorite sunscreen. Yep, she left a bottle behind during one of her visits. The result? A vibrant green that screams, "You messed with the wrong guy." It's not permanent, not harmful, just humiliating. Perfect. Through the neighborhood grapevine, James hears Linda's planning another uninvited pool party that weekend. A small gathering to support local property values, she claims, which is code for, let's make James squirm. Little does she know she's walking into a trap. James preps like he's running a sting operation. He installs 3 more hidden cameras around the pool, every angle covered high def, ready to capture the chaos. He adds the dye to the pool, following the manufacturer's exact instructions. To the naked eye, the water looks crystal clear, inviting as ever. That evening, he overhears Linda on her phone, gesturing toward his house. "He's gone all day Saturdays," she says loudly. "Bring your best swimsuit, it'll be fine." James smiles, packs his car the next morning, and makes a big show of leaving. But instead of driving off, he parks around the corner, sneaks back through his side gate, and sets up in his home office with a perfect view of the pool. His security app's ready, coffee's poured, and he's waiting for the show. Right on cue at 2 p.m., Linda struts through his gate like she's walking the red carpet. 6 friends trail behind, toting designer beach bags, sunglasses, and smug attitudes. They set up with champagne, charcuterie boards, and a Bluetooth speaker blasting smooth R&B. "Ladies, welcome to our Saturday oasis," Linda announces, raising a glass. What the new guy doesn't know won't hurt him. Her crew laughs nervously, but the lure of a free pool party on a scorching Atlanta day wins them over. One by one, they slather on their fancy sunscreen, the exact kind James tested, and dive in. Linda goes first, making a dramatic splash. "Water's perfect," she calls out. Her friends follow, splashing and sipping, completely clueless about what's coming. It takes about 10 minutes for the dye to kick in. First, it's Linda's friend, Claire. She's lounging on a float, then suddenly squints at her arm. Linda, is your skin weird?" Claire's arm is turning a faint green under the sun. Linda looks at her own hands and shrieks. Her pale skin's now a bright St. Patrick's Day green. Panic erupts. The women scramble out of the pool, screaming, grabbing towels that do nothing to hide the neon tint spreading across their arms, legs, and faces. Their expensive makeups streaking green, like they're auditioning for a sci-fi flick. "My sister's engagement party is tomorrow," one wails, staring at her lime-colored legs. "I'm in the photos." Linda's dripping wet, green as a lime, and furious. "This was on purpose," she sputters, spinning around. That's when she spots one of James's cameras, its red light blinking like it's winking at her. The women bolt, 6 green-tinted divas sprinting through the neighborhood in their designer swimsuits, leaving wet footprints and stunned neighbors in their wake. James, cool as ever, records the whole thing from his office, barely holding back a laugh. This is better than he planned. By evening, James edits the footage into a masterpiece. He starts with clips of Linda's earlier trespassing, stealing his newspaper, sneaking through his gate, poisoning his roses, then cuts to the pool party disaster, all set to the R&B they were playing. He uploads it to YouTube, TikTok, and Twitter with the title, "Trespassing Neighbor Gets a Green Surprise." Within hours, it's blowing up. Millions of views, thousands of shares. Local news picks it up. Atlanta neighbor's pool party goes green. Literally. The comments are gold. Karen got what she deserved. This is the karma we need in 2025. Linda's real estate agency's Facebook page is flooded with green emoji spam, and clients start questioning if they can trust an agent who trespasses. By Monday, the story's everywhere. The neighborhood WhatsApp group's buzzing. People who stayed quiet during Linda's smear campaign against James are suddenly spilling tea. "She reported my Halloween decorations last year," one neighbor types. "Said they were too tacky for the HOA. Another chimes in, "She tried to get my kid's lemonade stand shut down." James doesn't say much, just sips his coffee and watches the chaos unfold. Linda tries damage control with a video of her own, claiming she was protecting community standards, but her faint green tint makes her look like a grumpy leprechaun. The internet eats it up for all the wrong reasons. Linda's not done, though. She sends James a cease and desist letter demanding he take down the video. James, unfazed, responds with a polite email attaching his full security footage, time-stamped proof of her trespassing, vandalism, and more. Her lawyer tries to argue the pool dye wasn't meant for them specifically, but the evidence shuts that down fast. The neighborhood's vibe shifts. People who used to avoid James now wave, bring over cookies, even share their own Linda horror stories. Mrs. Alvarez from down the street admits, "She called my Christmas lights too ethnic. I should have spoken up sooner." Linda's final move? She tries to rally the HOA to ban dangerous pool chemicals. Only 3 people show up to her meeting, all wearing green wristbands in silent support of James. The tide's turned, and Linda's running out of moves. The fallout from the green pool party is everywhere. James's video, "Trespassing Neighbor Gets a Green Surprise," is racking up millions of views across YouTube, TikTok, and Twitter. News outlets are eating it up. Headlines like, "Atlanta Karen's pool party disaster goes viral," are plastered across local channels. Linda's real estate agency is drowning in green emoji comments on their socials, and potential clients are side-eyeing her hard. The neighborhood WhatsApp group's on fire. People who never spoke up about Linda's antics are spilling all the tea. "She tried to get my kid's basketball hoop banned," one neighbor posts, called it a property value threat. Another chimes in, "She reported my dog for barking once." The dam's broken, and Linda's reign of terror is crumbling. Linda, still rocking a faint green tint, tries to spin the narrative. She posts a shaky iPhone video, claiming she was just checking on the neighborhood and didn't know the pool was treated. But her minty glow under the camera lights makes her look like she's auditioning for the Grinch. The internet roasts her mercilessly. Memes of Green Karen flood Twitter, complete with Shrek edits and St. Patrick's Day jokes. Her video gets ratioed into oblivion, with comments like, "Ma'am, you're literally glowing with guilt." Even her own friends, some still faintly green, start ghosting her. Nobody wants to be associated with the neighborhood's new Wicked Witch of the South. But Linda's not going down without a fight. Her lawyer fires off another cease and desist letter to James, claiming the pool dye was malicious and targeted harassment. James, cool as ever, responds with a zip file of his security footage, crystal clear clips of Linda stealing his newspaper, sneaking into his yard, and dousing his roses with weed killer. He adds a polite note, "Please advise your client to respect private property." The lawyer's next email is weaker, mumbling about how the dye wasn't specifically meant for Linda's crew. James's footage of her repeated trespassing shuts that down quick. Checkmate. The neighborhood's vibe is shifting hard. People who used to dodge James's gaze now stop by to chat. Mrs. Lopez from across the street drops off a tray of homemade tamales saying, "I should have said something when Linda complained about my holiday decorations." She called them too loud for the HOA. The Parkers next door admit Linda tried to get their kids' treehouse torn down, claiming it ruined the aesthetic. James just nods, letting them vent. He's not here to gloat. He's here to live his life. Then the plot thickens. A local news van pulls up to James's house. A reporter, mic in hand, wants the scoop. James keeps it classy. "I just want to enjoy my home. Everyone's welcome to use the pool. They just need to ask." His calm demeanor only makes the story bigger. The segment airs that night, juxtaposing James's chill vibe with Linda's green-tinted meltdown video. Twitter goes wild. This man's a legend. Protected his property without raising his voice. A veterans group picks up the story, praising James's service and slamming Linda's entitlement. Their tweet, Respect starts at home. Dr. Team James. Trends nationwide. Linda tries one last power move. She calls an emergency HOA meeting to address unsafe pool chemicals. She's expecting a crowd to back her up, but only 3 people show, 2 of them wearing green bracelets in silent support of James. Linda's speech about community safety falls flat when someone in the back starts humming Sweet Caroline, but swaps the lyrics to It's Not Easy Being Green. The room cracks up and Linda storms out, her face redder than her fading green undertones. The HOA president, who's been neutral this whole time, pulls James aside after. "You've done us a favor," he says. "She's been bullying people for years." By now, Linda's real estate career is in freefall. Her agency's Facebook page is a war zone. Clients are bailing, and her listings are getting no bites. A viral Reddit thread titled "Green Karen Strikes Again" digs up old stories of her meddling in other neighborhoods, like reporting a kid's lemonade stand for unpermitted vending. Her husband, who golfs with the police captain, is overheard at the country club. "I can't close a deal when everyone's asking if my wife's still green." Linda's social circle shrinks to nothing. Her former friends, tired of the drama and their own lingering green stains, stop taking her calls. Then a game changer hits. A local civil rights group gets wind of the story and digs into Linda's "You don't belong here" comment to James. They find a pattern. Multiple neighbors of color report similar run-ins with her over the years. The group organizes a community meeting, not at the HOA, but at a local park. Dozens show up, sharing stories of Linda's microaggressions, calling the cops on suspicious delivery drivers, complaining about ethnic decorations. James attends, but stays quiet, letting others speak. The meeting ends with a pledge to make the neighborhood more inclusive, and James's pool parties become the unofficial hub for this new vibe. Speaking of pool parties, James starts hosting them regularly, properly, with invites, snacks, and his killer BBQ ribs. Kids splash around, parents chill, and the neighborhood feels alive for the first time in years. Mr. Chen, who lives 2 doors down, tells James, "I've been here a decade, and this is the first time I've met half these people." The pool's not just a luxury anymore, it's a symbol of taking back your space. The final nail in the coffin? Linda's house sale. Her "for sale" sign's been up for days, but buyers are spooked. Real estate agents have to disclose the green pool saga. It's become such a local legend that it's practically a legal requirement. No, the pool incident won't affect your property, they assure nervous clients. The die was temporary. But the story's too juicy, and nobody wants to buy the green Karen house. Linda's forced to slash the price, and even then, it sits for weeks. One morning, James wakes up to the sound of a moving truck. Linda's packing up, taking the long way around the block to avoid his house. The new buyers move in, a young couple with twin boys who love to swim. They hit it off with James right away, joining his weekend pool parties, and even hosting a few of their own. The boys, part of the local swim team, practice their laps in James's pool, and he's out there cheering them on like a proud uncle. The neighborhood feels like a new place. HOA meetings are shorter, friendlier, and nobody's whining about property values anymore. James gets an email that makes him chuckle. A news outlet in another state reports that Linda's already stirring trouble in her new neighborhood, something about demanding access to a community tennis court. "Same old Linda," James mutters, marking the email as read. He heads outside, dives into his crystal-clear pool, and floats under the Georgia sun. This whole saga was never about revenge for him. It was about standing his ground with dignity. His pool, once a battleground, is now a symbol of community, a place where neighbors connect and kids make memories. A year later, James's backyard is the heart of the neighborhood. He's got a small framed photo by the pool gate, a still from the viral video showing 6 green-tinted women sprinting through the street. When new neighbors ask about it, he just grins and says, "That's a reminder. Karma always makes a splash." His security cameras are still up, but now they capture birthday parties, swim lessons, and neighbors laughing over lemonade. The HOA's even talking about a community pool fund inspired by James's gatherings. As for Linda, her name's become a local punchline. Real estate agents still tell the story to warn new hires about respecting boundaries. The neighborhood kids have a game where they tiptoe past her old house whispering, "Don't tell Karen," while their parents try not to laugh. James doesn't dwell on it, though. He's too busy grilling ribs, teaching the twins how to perfect their backstroke, and enjoying the peace he's earned.